Hi there, welcome to our video which was based on special request. Now to start, I would love to start with a question straightforward on polynomial division. Number one, we have x squared plus 5x plus 6 divided by x plus 2. That can be rewritten as this: x squared plus 5x plus 6 divided by x plus 2. Now, if we have this situation, what do? We are going to use the long division, which is preferably the best method in this situation. For example, our divisor is going to be the x plus 2, and our dividend is x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now, what should we do next, or what should we do in this situation? We want to make sure that we cancel and we keep getting reminders. So we will want to say that the x squared inside here is going to be divided by the x which is outside. So the x squared is going to be divided, which is the x outside, and what we are going to get is x, because the x squared divided by x is equal to x. Now this is going to come here, and then we can proceed to multiplication. What are we multiplying? We are considering of multiplying the x squared we have together with our divisor. In that case, we are going to have the x times the x, where we are going to get an x squared. So x times x is going to give us x squared. This x multiplied by this x is going to give us an x squared. And then we are going to say the same x multiplied by 2 is going to give us plus 2x. Now we want to subtract what we have. We can tell that from this situation, x is going to subtract with x, and then we are going to have 0. And then we are also going to say 5 minus 2 is going to give us 3. Therefore, we are going to get 3x. Now, when this happened, we just continue with our 6. This 6 will just come here. It is plus 6. Now, let's move this number 2 downward a little bit so that we can have space to finish up our lesson. All right, it's okay. We can always bring it back. Now, what is next for us to do here is that we will always keep dividing by the x inside the dividend so that we will get to a point where there is no x to divide again. So this is our remainder, and the next thing is to also divide our remainder with the same x. Let me clean this x up to get a nice space. Oh my bad, it's all gone. Let's rewrite it. We have x plus 2, and we have an x here. When it multiply, we have this. All right, so what are we doing? The next thing for us to do is to make another division. In this situation, this 3x is going to divide by this x again. Now we are going to say 3x divided by x. Obviously, that's going to give us what? 3. Now that 3, we are going to write it on top here, and as we do for the first one, we multiply it with the divisor. So it means that the 3 here is going to multiply by the divisor here. Okay, when that happens, obviously we are going to get 3x for the first one. So let's write the 3x here. And then the second one is going to be 3 times 2. We are going to have a 6, so plus 6. And then we are going to subtract that 2. So definitely 3x minus 3x is going to give us 0. And then 6 minus 6 is also going to give us 0. Now at this point, our remainder is 0 and 0. Therefore, the division of this equation is going to be equal to x plus 3. And that is our answer. Now for number 2, here I put it down here. Let's bring it back a pause for clarity's sake, right? And let's bring the number 3 also down to get enough space. Now you can pause the video so that you can have a practice for yourself and see where you are. And if you have any question, don't forget to ask in the normal class session. or whenever you see the teacher moving around campus. Now this one is also the same approach, but only that in this case the end result is not going to give us a remainder of the result. Let's see. Now we start with our divisor, which is x minus 2, and our dividend is 2x cubed plus 8x squared. Okay, minus 6x plus 10. All right, there we have it. Now, what is the next step to go? The next step is we should look for the quotient. So therefore, we can say 2x, this one inside here, 2x cubed divided by x, and that gives us 2x squared, right? Because 1x cancel with this one, so we got that. So our answer here is 2x squared, and we write it on top here, 2x squared. Now we are going to multiply the 2x squared by the divisor, right? We are going to multiply the 2x squared by the divisor, and that is going to give us, the first multiplication is 2x squared times 2, or better still, we can write 2x squared x minus 2. In this situation, we're going to have 2x cubed minus 2, okay? 2 times 2 is 4x squared, and that makes perfect sense. All right, now let's see, let's clean this one here, and then so we have 2x squared times x, we're going to get 2x cubed. 2x squared times minus 2, we're going to get minus 4x squared. Now these ones we can leave it for now, and then we are going to subtract, and then we get our remainder. Now 2x squared minus 2x squared is obviously 0, and then 8x squared minus 4x squared is going to give us a positive, because we say 8 plus, my bad, 8 minus 4 minus, right? Or 8x squared minus 4x squared. So when we have 2 minus, it becomes a plus, right? That gives us a 12x squared. So we have positive 12x squared. So we have here 12x squared. Now we can write these ones back in to follow. So we have negative 6x plus 10. Now when this happen in this situation, what do? It's pretty simple. We can also, or better say, we are going to use it to divide by the divisor. So we are going to say this one we have here is 12x squared minus the x. So we are going to have another one, say 12x squared minus our x, which is obviously going to give us 12x. And we are going to write a 12x here. It is a plus, so plus 12x. Now, just like we did for the previous ones with the reminders, we are going to, okay, so we call this one the remainder. Let's call it our R. So when we do that, we have 12x, right? So we are going to use the 12x to multiply the divisors, okay? So when we have 12x times x, we are going to get 12x squared. You see how multiplying them help to eliminate all the preceding polynomials. And then when that happens, we can also say 12x times negative 2 is going to give us negative 24x. So 12 times 2 is 24, which is negative 24x. Now we want to find the remainder again. So this one, pretty cancel this one because it's a minus. And the negative 6 minus minus 24 is going to give us what? Negative 6 minus minus 24 is going to give us 18x. Plus the 10, we bring the 10 down. So we have plus 10. And this is our remainder too. Don't forget, this our remainder still have an x to it. So we have to divide by the x again and multiply. That is pretty how the thing goes, okay? So we have 12, 18, my bad. Let me bring it back to the color here. So in this case, we have 12. We have 18. X divided by x is going to give us 18, and that one will also come at the quotient side. It's a positive, so we have plus 18. Now what to do next is to multiply this 18 by the divisor again. So realize that all the quotients were being used to divide by the divisor, so that we are able to eliminate the x in it. Now when we multiply 18 by x, we are coming back to 18x. And then when we multiply 18 by minus 2, we are getting negative 36. Negative 36. Now, as we do every day, we subtract. And there is nothing to add here other than, yeah, there's nothing to add. We already have our 10 and we have our 36. All right. So this 18 minus 18, it's 0. And then 10 minus 36, we said two negatives gives us a positive. So we are going to have 46. And this 46 is our last reminder, and it has no x attached to it. Therefore, we are not going to divide by the divisor. We only divide by the divisor if it is having an x attached to it. Now, at this point, we are done. Now, you ask yourself, what is the solution here? Let's bring our number 3 still. Let's bring it down so that we have more space to go. All right. So, we say that the whole thing is equal to 2x. This one, this is what you're looking for. So we have 2x squared plus 12x plus 18. Now, what is next? We say plus, the divisor is x minus 2, and the remainder is 46. So you see how we do it. In practical, we say f of x is equal to p of x, okay, multiply by q of x plus r of x, where r of x is our remainder, and then p of x times q of x is our quotient, and then f of x is the polynomial itself. I hope this makes perfect sense, and then we are going to move forward to the next one, which is the number 3. And with number 3, you should notice something. You can pause the video and then practice by yourself. And let's see. All right. Now, in this situation, we have 6x squared minus 9x, 6x exponent 4 minus 9x plus 18 all over x minus 3. You realize that in this situation, we don't have an exponent of 3, but it starts with 4 and we don't have anything for 3. So in doing your calculation, you should be very careful. Now let's start by writing the divisor and the dividend. What is our divisor? Our divisor is x minus 3, and our dividend is 6x exponent 4 minus or plus. For me, I'm going to say plus because I need the powers to follow up. So since there is nothing for the x cube, I will make it 0 x exponent 3 so that I can go as arranged, you know. Now the next one is negative 9x squared. All right, and then what is next for us again in the question? We have, do we have, after x squared, do we have x exponent 1? No, we don't have. So we can add a fictional one, which is plus 0 x plus 18. We have 18 from the question. Now, I hope it's clear. All that we did was there is no x cubed and there is no x, and then we add 0 to it, which is basically true. This equation is the same as the one we have here because it divides and gives us the same thing. Now we have our dividend and we have our divisor. What is the first step to go? As always, we consider the first dividend against the first divisor. Therefore, in this situation, we are going to say 6x exponent 4 divided by x, and this gives us 6x exponent 3. So we write 6x exponent 3 here, and then we use this one to multiply the divisor as always. Now when we do that, what are we going to get? We are going to get 6x exponent 4 because this is x times x. And then what about the negative 3? So 6x times negative 3, what are we going to get? So that will be like 6 times 3. This one, 6 times 3 is going to give us 18. We're going to have negative 18 because it's negative 3. Negative 18 x cubed. The x cubed followed 3 times 8. 3 times 6 is 18, and the x cube follows. Pretty clear. All right, now what is next? We can leave the rest now, and then we subtract, right? So when we subtract, 6x exponent 4 minus 6x exponent 4 is basically 0, and then 0x exponent 3 minus 18x cube is going to give us 18x cube. So we're going to have 18x cube here because this is negative, and then this is also negative. So these two negatives is going to become positive, and then 0 plus all this, because they are like terms, right? You can see they all have the power of 3 or the degree of 3. So it is like polynomial. Now what next? We can just repeat the rest of the equation to make it looks normal. So we have negative 9x squared plus 0x plus 18. Now as we do always, this is our remainder. What do we do with our remainder? We use the first term to divide by the divisor, which is x. So we say another 18x. What do we have? 18x cubed divided by x, and that is going to give us 18x squared. So we're going to write plus 18x squared. Now remember, this 18x squared is going to also multiply with the divisor to get us another remainder. Okay, all right. So when we multiply, what are we getting? It's pretty simple. It's like writing x into bracket 18x. No, it's like writing 18x squared into bracket x minus 3. Now we used to multiply all of them together, and what do we get? This is 18x squared times x. We go back to 18x cubed. 18 times 3 is going to give us what? 54x squared, and it is a minus 54x squared. Let's come back here. So here what I'm trying to say is 18 times 3, sorry, 18 times x is going to give us 18x cubed, because this is 1x, this is 2x, they become 3, and these guys can subtract each other. Another thing we are looking for is the same 18x squared multiplied by the 3 here, and it's going to give us what? Negative 3. So it's going to give us negative 56, negative 54, my bad, 54x squared. And now we can subtract to get our next remainder, right? Okay, so 18x squared can cancel 18x squared because this is a minus, and then negative 9x squared minus 54x squared is going to give us 45x squared, because 15 is going to be like this, negative 9 plus 54. Okay, negative 9 plus 54 is going to give us 45, and then the common unknown is x squared, so it follows. So here it's going to be 45x squared, and we can continue with plus 0x plus 18, and this is also a remainder. Okay, now what we do next after we find our remainder, we basically use the first polynomial to divide by the first divisor. Therefore, we are going to say 45x squared divided by x is going to be 45x, and that is the quotient here. So we come back here and say plus 45. My bad, here the work is getting chunky. Let me clean this one to make it look nice. Okay, so we are coming here to plus 45x plus 45x. So basically we use this 45x to multiply everything here. At this stage, I'm sure everybody's getting what we are doing now. So 45x times x is going to bring us to 45x squared, and then 45 x times negative 3 is going to bring us to, so we are going to have negative 135, negative 135x, 135x. Now when that happens, it is safe to say we can continue with our plus 18, and then we can now subtract 45x squared minus 45x squared is going to cancel. This one's cancel this one, and then now we have 0 0x plus negative 0x minus 135. So we are going to have 135, right? 135. We're going to have 135 here, x 135x. And when that happens, what is next to do? Next to do is plus 18. We have 18 here. Okay, now we still have x in our remainder, so we can still continue to divide. How do we divide again? We use 135x divided by the first divisor, which is x, and that is going to give us what? 135. Now our 135 is going to come on top here, so plus, let's clean this line. Okay, plus 135 plus 135. Okay, so when we have now the 135, we can multiply 135 by everything here also, as we do all the time. So 135 times x minus 3, we are going to get 135 times x is going to be 135x, 135x, and then 135 times negative 3 is going to be 135 times negative 3 is going to give us 405. We're going to get 405. So plus 405. And now we can still subtract again. Now 135x minus 135x take care of each other, and then 18 minus 405, right? Okay, this is going to be a negative number because 135 times negative 3 here and 135 here is going to give us a negative. So it's negative here, so it's going to be 118 plus, because we have a negative and a negative together, and then they are going to be what? Plus. So 405, 18 plus 405 is going to give us 423, 423, 423, because this one is taking care of each other. At this point, our remainder is just a normal integer, which is 423. And 423, there is no x in it for us to be able to divide by the divisor. Therefore, we stay here and say that that is our remainder, r. That's our remainder. And as we did earlier on, we say that the equation or the polynomial is equal to the quotient that we have here. In this case, I'm going to write it down here. Our quotient is going to be equal to 6x cubed plus 18x squared, right? Plus 45x plus the last one, which is 135. This one plus the remainder 423 all over the divisor, which is x minus 3, x minus 3, and this is the division of this polynomial. Again, it goes with the saying that f of x, in this situation, our f of x is equal to this equation, which is 6x exponent 4 plus, okay, minus 9x plus 18, and the 9x has a squared exponent divided by x minus 3. So this is our f of x, and then our p of x times our q of x plus our r of x. So we see these ones are the multiplication of the divider, sorry, the quotient, and then the divisor. We get p of x times the q of x, and then the remainder and the divisor is our r of x, and the polynomial itself is f of x. At this point, I would love to end the lesson here. If there is any question, don't forget to reach out to me, your teacher Adams, and I'm going to share this video on, I'm going to share the video in my normal YouTube channel for easy access. And as a student of mine, don't forget to subscribe, and then you can share to your friends so that we can learn more maths. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Bye bye. See you.